clip, kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't play, 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 who don't. Long time coming, not gonna bite, I'm a mouth from running. Cataracts under my eyes from hustling, going from buying to selling to customers. Run up the business, God is my witness. Sun up to sun up from Monday to Sunday, we maxing the limits. My mind running like Tom Cruise on an action movie. Moving a mission, they say that I'm tripping. I've been told I need a vacation, I'm finessing a visit. First class, my feet up high in the air on business.
Yeah, that's right. Welcome to a TSR Live. I'm one of your hosts, Uncle Capone. What's happening? You know, this is where we celebrate the culture, debate the norms, and share opinions on trending topics.
Oh, yes. What's up, roomies? I'm Kiki, your co-host, and here's the most important thing. We are live interactive, so drop your comments in the chat and make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and chime in because we want you to be a part of the conversation.
What's up, y'all? I'm Zach Boog, your other co-host, and tonight we have special guests, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass and Jermaine Dupree. They're going to give us an exclusive on an upcoming project he's working on. Plus, the roomies will be weighing in. We've got comments from Keith Sweat, Tyler Perry, everybody pulling up.
Yeah. Right, roomies, if you ready, let's get it.
All right, now, guys, the Diddy trial is in its 5th week with continued testimony from Jane Doe. Here are a few highlights. Jane Doe has been on the stand this week with testimony mirroring a lot of what Cassie said regarding the freak-offs. The defense is now questioning Jane Doe. So during the testimony, which included some emotional moments, she testified that she had sex with 3 men in 3 days shortly before Diddy lied to her and took another woman on a birthday vacation. The judge overseeing Diddy's trial has denied the defense's second request for a mistrial over the claims of prosecutorial misconduct. Now, prosecutors have requested that a juror be dismissed, citing a lack of candor. The defense opposes removing the juror and said that the government's attempt at doing so is a thinly veiled effort to dismiss a black juror. Now, the judge said he will address the matter by the end of the week after he receives written submissions from both sides. So it's been a lot going on in this case.
Man,
okay.
damn,
Jane Doe is telling a lot. She's revealing a lot, and a lot of what she said is looking a lot like what Cassie went through. So it's almost like he got rid of Cassie and then got a new one, which is sad. And, you know, people are speculating on who's Jane Doe, who was the woman he took on a birthday vacation. That's not for us to do. But when you hear the new facts in the case, where do you think it's going?
Young in Miami.
Oh, you said Young Miami?
No, my bad.
Okay.
It was all based off of, shout out to my brother Ray Daniels. He said it. He called this from the beginning of it. He said everything was based off of the way he was treating Young Miami. And his exes all looked at him like, what are you doing? This is what we thought we were going to get. And you taking her on trips, you doing all the things that we want to do, turning her into a star. And you got us around here in hotels having sex with men we don't even know.
Ooh. Damn. So you think the exes was kind of just looking at, because he went into his love era. You know, when he got with Young Miami, he changed his name. He became Love. He probably was nicer. But you
you get that. See, let me tell you something. When you get them ghetto girls, you can't play all that different dude stuff to ghetto with. I ain't doing that.
Definitely. Young Miami would have told him no. But the thing of it is, this whole trial is showing people a little bit. Also, we all know Diddy's got a little nasty side to him. But the fact of it is showing what money and power will do for you and how people use that money and power to manipulate. But again, like he was taking Young Miami and look at what he was doing with her. And he got these women in hotels, according to their testimony, having sex over 3 days with 3 different men, male prostitutes. No shade to male prostitutes, but that's kind of wild. That's some wild stuff. and you promising them the world while they watching you on yachts at Cannes Music Fest. You hanging out,
pulling up to her shows, supporting her.
Young Miami is winning. What is it? Podcast of the year. Over some very, very good podcast.
Looking back, that was crazy.
Carisha, please beat out crazy. Drink Champs. $1 million worth of games. The Joe Budden podcast.
4 episodes.
And what more can I say? Podcast. Quit playing.
With 4 episodes.
This case is wild, and I think we just all gonna sit back and kind of watch and see how it goes. But roomies, make sure you stay right here at TSR as the Shade Room reporters are boots on the ground at the courthouse, giving live updates on everything that is happening.
All right, now we've got a few more TSR trending headlines. Lil Wayne recently dropped the Carter 6, and Pitchfork gave it a 2.9 out of 10.
I know they
now,
didn't.
did y'all listen to the Carter 6?
Yes.
You know I've been listening to the Carter 6.
What is your rating, Kiki?
I give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
I think it's a solid body of work. I'm going to stand. That's my GOAT, and I'm going to stand beside him. I think he did a great job on this album. I feel like it's very versatile. He has a lot of different features, and on every song, you can feel the chemistry between him and whoever he featured on the song. My favorite songs is the one with Jelly Roll and Big Sean, and then the other one with Big Extra Plug.
Okay.
Okay. I love the album. Y'all know this.
Yes. Okay, Tone, what did you rate it?
About 7.5, 7.5.
Okay.
I need to listen to it a little bit more because Kiki, the way she talks about it, makes you feel like you missed out on something. I'm like, did I miss some of it? But it's cool. Again, it's hard for me to even judge Wayne like any kind of way. And people that are trying to like talk crazy about Wayne, just so everybody knows, Lil Wayne's jersey is already in the Rap Hall of Fame. It's all good. It's in the rafters. Of course, he's just trying to a lot of different sounds, and a lot of y'all not used to hearing a lot of different sounds. Y'all used to hearing people that sound like Bryson Tiller, Future, and Playboy Cardi.
I think it is. I think it's a conspiracy. I think they are trying to take Wayne down.
Come on,
because they were saying it was whack. It literally was put out at midnight. It was the worst album ever by 5 a.m.
Yep.
And I saw it was, this is terrible. This is terrible. I was like, I don't know, man. Like, let's listen to it. And then when I listened to it, I listened to the first 5 songs, and I was like, these 5 songs are good. I jumped down to the Manny Fresh track because I wanted to hear that. That was good.
Fire.
And if I'm already 6-7 records that are good and solid out of a 15-20 project record, it's not the worst. You know, it couldn't be as trash as y'all are saying.
People just like to hate. Like they just like, it's just the song, you drop a project and in the morning they like, it's terrible, it's garbage. You ain't even listened to all the songs yet.
Facts.
Like, come on, man. Wayne could never be garbage.
What was it?
Now
what's Drake's album with Party Next Door? What's the name of that?
Somebody Loves. Pretty Girls Loves Music.
I don't know. Whatever it is, I judge that album very harshly, and it aged well.
Okay.
And it aged well. So I'm thinking I'm gonna give Wayne give it a little time.
Some sexy songs for you.
Sexy, yeah, thank you. Some sexy songs for you aged well. The more I listened to it, I was like, okay, I get it. I see where it was going. Because a lot of times we looking for the hit. As soon as you turn it on, you looking for it. Like, oh yeah, this is the one for the club. And you not, and then once you don't hear that, you kind of get, a little maybe disappointed, and you're not really giving the other records a fair shot.
I think so. I'm with y'all on that.
Yeah, I mean the hit from Wayne album is hip hop. If you want to just take a glance at the album, start with the song with Big Extra Plug.
Okay,
it's a hit.
Fair.
Okay, Kiki.
How I feel about this album. Zach.
What? I would rather hear Tone's opinion on this one because you said 10 out of 10.
Yes,
and you give everything.
I don't.
The people that you like, you give them perfect scores.
That's
no
true.
Matter what. Yes. And that's what I'm saying. You was the only person that was like, Omarion dropped a new album, y'all, and nobody knew but you. And
I beg your pardon.
So when you are a fan, you are a fan.
I am.
All any artist need is 10 Kikis.
That's
if I can get 10 Kikis, I will be okay.
That's
because they gonna spread the word and act
Hey,
like everything you did.
When I'm with you, I'm with you, baby. When I'm with you, I'm with you. But I was just critiquing Wayne not too long ago about the whole Super Bowl thing. Like I can correct my goats when they not in order. But when he drops a solid body of work at this point in his career, I feel like he deserves the flowers for that. And I'm not gonna sit back and be quiet while everybody else is hating.
I don't know. I think you and Reginae got to be cool, and now you.
Shout out to Reginae. I love Reginae.
10 out of 10. Like that's my girl.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, just listen to the album.
Perfect.
Just listen to the album with an open mind.
I love it.
Listen to the album with an open mind.
Roomies, when Kiki started talking about production value, now you know that. And I love the way the music was just the way it hit. You ain't never heard him talk about
the chemistry Wayne had with every feature that he had on the room. Y'all ghosts can't put Andrea Bocelli on an album, okay? He had Bono on an album, and all the songs sound good. I'm just honest.
Go ahead, Kiki.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's move on. Sad news. TV host Ananda Lewis, best known for hosting BET's Teen Summit, MTV, and the Ananda Lewis Show, has passed away at the age of 52 years old. She died from stage 4 breast cancer. Tributes of her life and contribution to the culture are flooding social media right now. This is just sad news.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
This was tough. Ananda, was one of those, like, when I'm in high school, that's 90s fine right there. Look at it. Like, if you look at some of her pictures, you look at a lot of them, you see very, very, very little makeup. And then this is one of the first women we've seen out that combine that type of beauty and that type of talent together. Ananda, not only is she beautiful, she was super, super talented and very good at her job. So when you see that ugly C word take another star out, it just feels nasty.
Absolutely. And she was one of the first brown girls I saw on TV doing what I would love to do, and she did it with such grace. She was very sharp in all of her interviews. She had her own show, and she was very transparent with her fans and followers during her cancer battle. So, last year I remember her putting up a video and everybody, praying for her. And just, you hate to see it turn out like this. And she is a mother too. So just praying for her entire family.
Absolutely, man. California continues to lead the headlines as ICE ramps up detaining more undocumented immigrants and protests grow nationwide. Now, California Senator Alex Padilla was briefly detained by ICE today during a press conference held by DHS security Kristi Noem. All right, take a look at this.
Senator Alex Padilla, I have questions for the secretary, because the fact of the matter is a half a dozen violent criminals that you're rotating on your heads off.
How many of our ICE agents have been doxxed for doing their duty, how they have been targeted.
That's insane. I'm sorry. That is insane.
To handle a senator like that is crazy. Man, that just shows you just a lack of respect and a lack of just human decency. He may interrupt it. He may not follow procedure, but a senator, an elected official, should not ever be handled like that in no way, shape, or form. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Like, and if that's that was okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, we allowed that, they allowed that to happen to an elected official, and if that's the way we're going, it's very scary.
They would have threw my yellow ass on the ground. They would have this is an elected official. They handling a senator crazy who's asking a question. Hey, Senator, you got to go, and stand in front of him and like, hey, you got to leave. It's all type of ways. You overtalk him while he's trying to get his question out. You know, whatever. You tell him he's out of order. Something, but to basically drag him out of there was crazy. And all of it adds more fuel to the fire while people are protesting in here in Chicago as well, San Antonio, New York. It's a wild time right now.
Yeah. Trump is having a military parade in DC for his birthday and the 250th anniversary of the Army. Organizers are planning a No King's Day protest with over 2,000 protests scheduled around the country, from city blocks to small towns, from courthouse steps to community parks. There's a campaign that has started to flood social media with photos of Obama on Saturday. Okay.
Wow.
So it's just...
I like,
get my picture ready.
I hate that this is even getting mixed in, because I got family members that served in the Army, and they deserve that parade. They deserve to be celebrated, because people that go into the Army or any of these armed forces deserve to be celebrated, because
absolutely
it ain't easy. It's definitely not easy. So I just hated that all of this stuff is coming around this.
And it's kind of like being mixed in.
Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah. It's nasty.
And Pope Leo will be speaking virtually at a sold-out event at Wright Field, home of Pope Leo's favorite team, the Chicago White Sox.
Southside.
It will stream worldwide right here in Chicago. You know how big you got to be to fill up a stadium of you going there virtually.
Okay.
You ain't even gonna be there.
You ain't gonna be there.
I ain't even gonna be there. Just set the video.
Put me on a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
But having the Pope be from Chicago is just insane. It's such a flex.
See, y'all tweaking.
Okay.
Everybody says that Dalton ain't Chicago. But if you say you from Dalton, now remember this, everybody. If you said you from Park Forest, you said you from Country Club Hills, what would they tell you? That's not Chicago.
Can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm from Chicago, baby. Born and raised. Can't nobody tell me nothing. My whole family on the west side of Chicago. I'm here on.
Your point is very valid.
Not over here though.
But let me tell you something. The more famous you are, the better you look, make Chicago look, the closer to that city gets to the city.
Yes. Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child is from Rockford. We claim her from Chicago. It ain't
Virgil Rockford.
Virgil from Rockford. But when he became Virgil, he's from Chicago. I have heard people say that Richard Pryor is from Chicago.
We claim everybody that's popping.
The end of Illinois.
Okay.
He's from Peoria.
We claiming the Mr. Leo, Pope Leo. Okay.
We have to.
Yes, that's big.
He ate at Harold's.
Right.
Seen him.
He ain't never been there.
I bet he's handsome.
But he do love the White Sox, and that's a fact. He was pictured in a hat, I believe, wearing a White Sox hat. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's super cool. Well, all that stuff that we were talking about in LA, guess what? We're gonna have more on that with Mayor Karen Bass a little later in the show. That's gonna be really cool.
That's dope.
Very cool.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from her.
All right, Dietrich Haddon is making headlines, expressing his disappointment with the BET Awards. He said the Dr. Bobby Jones Gospel/Inspirational category, he had a huge problem with it. Take a listen.
The gospel music industry needs an overhaul, period. After last night's show, it's an indicator that we just need a complete reset. Like what are we doing? Are we allowing this to happen over and over again and wonder why the gospel music industry is dying? Come on, man. In order to have something different, you have to do something different. So we need people in the room that know gospel music, that's in the trenches of gospel music, that's advocating for the genre as a whole and not one particular person. It's already a small genre. So it's hard for us to watch the Dr. Bobby Jones Gospel Award being given to somebody that's not in our space, right? No disrespect to the artist, but that's not the space she's in. And so it makes it discouraging, disappointing, and it takes the wind out of all of it.
Wow.
Well, Glorilla took home her first BET Awards, winning that Dr. Bobby Jones Gospel Inspirational Trophy for her song Rain on Me, featuring Kirk Franklin. Now, the debate for this is there a difference between inspirational and gospel music? Should secular artists be nominated for the gospel music just because they use God in their song, or a gospel artist? I mean, what you think about it, Zach?
I don't know. I think is the award for a gospel artist or the best gospel song? Because if I make secular music and I make the best gospel song of the year, then I think I should win it if I made the best gospel song. We didn't have a problem with Kanye winning an award for the remember when he did the gospel album?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it. You know, okay, here's the thing. When Beyonce jumps over the country, she's not traditionally a country artist.
Right.
But we say give her an opportunity to do country because she did a country album. So I don't know why we change it. Let's not move the goalposts because your person didn't win when it comes to Glorilla and gospel.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. My only thing is that Glorilla, in my opinion, did deserve to win best female hip hop album at the awards.
I agree.
And I think she had made a great gospel song, and I can understand his frustration in that. But I do think, you know, I'm not going to say Glo didn't deserve to win. She had a great gospel song, but I do believe that she deserved to win best hip hop album for women. It's undeniable this year, and I don't understand why that mark is continuously being missed. But
yeah, I mean they missed
from Memphis.
They missed she's from Memphis. They missed it. And again, I do agree with them. Gospel artists, you know, that is a small space, and they don't get a lot of shine. I definitely think that it should go to a gospel artist, not a secular artist that uses a gospel artist with them. I can get BET doing it. I understand why they did it.
It was a great song.
Yeah, I understand why
Great
they did it, but I just think we got to celebrate, especially on a major platform like BET is culture's biggest night. And you want to, if you're a gospel artist, you want to be on that stage accepting that award.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna rob, but you know I love God.
She did not say that. Anyway.
Do it again.
I ain't even gonna rob, but you know I love God.
I cannot.
It's hilarious. We go along in the show. How about it? Los Angeles is entering a week of protests in response to the Trump administration escalation of detaining undocumented immigrants. Now, Trump has issued 700 Marines and the National Guard to the City of Angels. LA Mayor Karen Bass has issued a curfew, and protests continue to grow across the country. Now, join us now to discuss the ICE raids and the protests in Los Angeles. Roomies, welcome Mayor Karen Bass.
Hey.
Hello, Mayor Bass.
Sorry about that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is good to be with you. Appreciate the opportunity to speak to everybody about what's
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
about
Thank
what's
you very
going on
much.
in Los Angeles and what isn't going on in Los Angeles.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
Well, Mayor, I got some questions for you. First of all, can you just walk us through what's happening with these ICE raids in Los Angeles?
Absolutely. I'm going to tell you, a week ago today, everything was fine in Los Angeles. The city was peaceful. There was nothing happening in LA that warranted ICE coming into our city and conducting these raids. You know that Los Angeles, 3.8 million people, is a city of immigrants. The Latino population is about 50%. The Asian population is about 25%. The factory that was raided on Friday is a factory that was owned by Koreans, and the workforce was both Korean and Latino. That's where they conducted the raid. You remember when the president came in, he was going after gang members, violent felons, and other criminals. And I don't know how you do that. And then you switch up to snatching people in an emergency room, in a homeless shelter, at a Home Depot parking lot. And so it seems like it's just to kind of terrorize our city. And I feel like we're all involved in an experiment to see how far the government can go in taking power away from a state, like he did with the governor, and to taking power away from the city. This is a grand experiment that none of us want to be involved in.
Wow. Now, people are terrified. There are videos circulating, and folks don't know what's real or what's a rumor.
Right.
It seems like the president and your governor are at odds. Now, who
Right.
ordered these actions? How do we even get here? Let's get more into what's really going on, because there are a lot of rumors online.
100% was ordered by the federal government. There was not a problem here. We did not need to have a raid. We have a significant population that are immigrants, or the families are of mixed status. One person is a citizen, the other person might be undocumented. So when this raid happens, it spreads fear all over the city. And understand that immigrants come in all colors. There's a significant Black immigrant population as well, from the Caribbean, from Central America. A lot of people don't realize that Belize, a Black country, is in Central America, and also obviously a number of African countries. So this hits the population across the board, and it essentially creates a city of fear. But I will tell you that we have a long history of well-respected, well-established immigrant rights organizations, and they have a tradition of protest, but those protests never devolve into violence. And so I'm very clear that the violence that has taken place, don't say you're doing it on behalf of immigrants, because you're not. You're doing it on behalf of yourself. And I don't think that the vandalism and the violence is actually attributed to the immigrant rights organizations.
Wow. Now, Mayor, let me ask this. The ICE agents, they're wearing masks, and many are questioning, who are these agents? Are they January 6 rioters, Klansmen, private security? How would you advise citizens to react if approached by these agents?
Well, first of all, you are entirely correct. There are also people who are impersonating ICE agents. But why are they completely covered in masks? Well, we have no idea about that. By the way, we're not told this is going to happen. We operate by rumor, and rumor has it that these raids are going to go on for 30 days, but we don't know. You have the U.S. Marines in a city about an hour away from here being trained in crowd control. You don't have the military that is trained to fight wars on foreign soil, and they are not trained to fight a war against Americans on our soil. They're just not. So right now, they are not needed. The National Guard was not needed. Our police department and the adjacent police departments could keep the situation under control. And you talk about what's online. How about what's on regular TV? The images of Los Angeles, you would think that this is happening all over the city. Do you realize this is about 5 blocks downtown? We are a city, again, a 3.8 million. Our city expands 500 square miles, and this is taking place in about half a square mile in our downtown area.
Yeah. Well, Mayor Bass, you spoke about the images, and we've seen the images from fires, broken windows, people running from tear gas. But we also know that there have been peaceful protests demanding justice. You put the city under a curfew. Can you break down what's really happening in the
Yes.
street?
Yeah, and let me just tell you, the protests have been overwhelmingly peaceful. You know how this works. You can have a peaceful event, and it could be a rock concert, it could be a basketball game, and at the end of it, there's a handful of people that create havoc. That is what this situation is. And so the reason why I had to put not the city under curfew, the downtown area. So out of 500 square miles, I put about 7 square miles under a curfew. And that curfew is 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. And it was basically to deal with the stragglers, because the legitimate protests are over way before 8 o'clock. It's the people that hang around. And truly, this is what I believe. The people that are doing this is social media driven. And it's the same people that turn out to do the street takeovers or to do the smash and grabs with no connection to the legitimate protests. But if we have violence and if we have vandalism, then that is an invitation for the Trump administration to say, roll out the troops because the city's out of control.
Yeah, you mentioned that they sent the National Guard and the Marines. What are they doing actually?
Yeah, that is a really good question. The National Guard is protecting one building. They're not even leaving that building. They're protecting one building, which is the federal building, and that's probably the building that you're showing there. The Marines, they're still about an hour outside of town, so they have not been deployed in our city yet. Do you know if they are deployed at the level that the president ordered, and if the federalized National Guard is deployed at its level? Do you realize we will have more soldiers in Los Angeles than the soldiers that are stationed in Iraq right now?
Wow.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow. I mean, the thing of it is it's really interesting how everybody's targeting California and the Hispanic population. Like I don't know if anybody ever knew, like California is Mexico. Like you can't, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And what are you doing? Like the heritage runs so deep in California. How do you bother that community? And I'm glad that Black folks are paying attention to this, because if they going towards the Hispanic community, what's next?
Well, and also I will tell you, Black folks are standing in solidarity because we understand we all live together, for goodness sake. And also, of course, we know if they come for you, you're coming for me. You know, we know that this is a part of our history. But the terror that is in this city is such that people aren't going to their kids' graduations because ICE is showing up at or near graduations. You have people not going to work. If you have a father or a mother that was detained and that person is the breadwinner, then you have people that don't want to leave their house to go to the store. So we're now organizing solidarity support for these families so that we can go deliver food until they feel okay. For the immigrant rights movement here, they have said that they have never seen anything like this before. The people that are detained, and I can't tell you how many it's been, the people that are detained are not given access to lawyers. They're not given access to their family members. Their family members don't know where they are. Rumor has it today that he's talking about sending the detainees to Guantanamo. You know, this is just again, we feel like we are in a laboratory, and this is being tested on our city to be rolled out in other cities. How far will the public tolerate the federal government coming in and taking over? And so let's just try it in California, because if they can get away with it in the nation's second largest city, then everybody's game. I did a phone call earlier this week with about 150 mayors, because I'm a part of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. I did a press conference yesterday with about 30 mayors from the local area. You know, our county, the county of Los Angeles, has 88 cities. The population of our county, 10 million. Do you know that that population is larger than 40 states? That's how big we are. And in all of that space, You're talking about 4 or 5 blocks.
Yeah. Crazy. Now I hate to keep Mayor Bass, I hate to keep pouring it on, but earlier this year, LA was literally on fire. And we know that it was an unprecedented disaster. Can you give us an update on how recovery is even going, especially those people that lost their homes?
Absolutely. And, I don't mind you pouring it on at all. I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it. But you are right. We had the state's worst natural disaster. And here's the irony. The administration was very helpful. One of the reasons why we have the fastest recovery period ever in our state's history is because the administration gave us a lot of resources. Now, one thing I want to be clear about, I'm only talking about the Palisades. It's been difficult for me, but it's important for me to explain that I do not represent Altadena. Altadena is actually not a city. It doesn't have a mayor. It doesn't have a city council. It is governed by the Board of Supervisors. So that's why you will only hear me talk about Palisades, which is tough because our folk are over there. But in Palisades, we have 2,500 properties that were burnt that are ready to rebuild now as soon as the owner decides to. There were about 5,000 properties destroyed. So It's been going at lightning speed. So here we're working well with the administration. And by the way, even though I'm sure I was criticized for it, I give credit where credit's due. And if they're helpful, I'm going to say that. But how do you go from that to one day I wake up and it's this? And it's like the pendulum swung all the way in another direction, which of course leaves me and everybody else with a feeling of uncertainty. What's coming next?
Now, speaking of that uncertainty, you were facing a political firestorm. Folks were calling for your resignation, calling you a DEI mayor. How are you navigating all of that while trying to lead through this crisis?
Well, and the interesting thing about that, the trip I made to Ghana was demonized. A few days before I left, it was widely known. It was announced in the press because I was invited by the White House to represent our country at the inauguration of the Ghanaian president. In the 12 years I spent in Congress, my focus was on Africa. I was essentially the leader in the House of Representatives on Africa policy. So it was not bizarre for the president to ask or to invite me to go. But by the time I came back, the 12 hours it took me to fly back, my previous opponent, who spent $110 million in a mayoral race, more money than has ever been spent in history, to my $15 million. Needless to say, he's still not happy with that. And so he spent 12 hours essentially demonizing me, calling me incompetent and saying the only reason why I'm in this role is because of DEI. But you know that the Trump administration came in like 2 weeks after that, and DEI was up front in their agenda, which basically means that any person of color that's in a position of authority is suspect. Are you there legitimately? Are you really qualified? Or are you one of those DEI people? But we're used to this, right? Unfortunately, this is a part of our history. But, I maintain the strength because I just think about those that came before me. And then, if I feel down or anything like that, I'm like, hey, get a grip. Because people that came before you suffered so much more. And then the reason I wanted to run and the reason why I wanted to be in this position is because we have 46,000 people sleeping on our streets every night. And I will tell you that the Black population is 9% of the city, and we are over 30% of the people sleeping on the streets. That was my goal, my mission for being in this role. And I'm going to continue until I get all Angelenos off our streets and in housing.
Wow. Well, Mayor, let's end here on a high note. In just a few years, LA will host the World Cup and the Olympics. Is the city ready? And what kind of Los Angeles do you want the world to see when they get here?
I want the world to see that when they come to Los Angeles, the world is actually here. I don't know of a country that doesn't have diaspora who live here. I want the world to see when you come to LA, LA is not just Hollywood and Beverly Hills and Venice Beach. LA is Watts, South Central, East LA, the San Fernando Valley, the East Valley, the West Valley. I want people to arrive at LAX, get their QR code that tells them where all the neighborhoods are, that tells them where their diaspora is. We're talking about having an African village, a Central American village, and we want people to see that. Is the city ready? We will be ready. The World Cup is 1 year from yesterday. We are 3 years from the Olympics. So this is right around the corner. Now, what we had been doing prior to this week is we had been mobilizing community members once a month to help beautify the city as a way of building city spirit. You know, when the Dodgers won, we had 200,000 people outside of City Hall, peacefully, joyfully. And I want to see that same type of participation when it's not a sports game. When it's about when it's about welcoming the world, when it's about civic pride. That's what I hope to see.
Oh, yeah. Well, LA show us a party, man. I ain't gonna lie, I love it.
You were just there.
Well, I hope to see you here in February when we have the All-Star basketball game. In May,
I'm there. I'm there. You kidding me? I'm gonna miss an All-Star game in LA. Man, Bass, count on seeing this yellow face.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right.
She's standing on business.
Yes,
I love it.
Yes. All right, let's switch topics, man. Keith Sweat is trending for a comment he made at a recent concert regarding the women of today. Look at this.
I don't mind telling you, I'm single. I know there's too many entitlement things going on. I can't. You gotta bring something to the table to get something for me. I can't help it. They don't want to cook no more. I wash my own clothes, I iron my own clothes. You gotta do something for me. And I got to iron my own clothes and wash my own clothes. And my mama told me how to iron, wash clothes. I'm good. Sometimes at nighttime, hey friend. You know what I said, man? Sometimes at night, I say, hey friend.
Sharrock. You remember that time?
Oh, why is he so funny?
Keith Sweat hilarious.
Keith Sweat is probably one of my favorite people to talk to. That is a funny dude, and he just had Keith, brother. Well, go ahead.
I want to ask the question.
Do the debate, man.
I want to ask: is it outdated to expect a career-oriented woman to cater to her man? Hey, good thing I know how to iron my own clothes. Iron my own clothes.
Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
Oh God, Keith.
Sharrock.
First, you got to stop dating them young women, man. That's what they want. And when you older, you date young women, bro. That's kind of what's gonna come with it, man. You kind of the catering kind of goes out the window.
What?
Come on, let's bring in a couple roommates to discuss this.
That ain't
The old player, man. You gotta be happy to
Keith,
be happy.
Shout out to the OG. The shirt he had on wasn't even ironed. So talking about you iron your own clothes. Keith, no, you don't.
Yes, he does. It was clean.
It wasn't ironed. So, I just think, fellas, we are not child employees. But what's up, roomies?
Hey.
What are your thoughts about what Keith Sweat had to say?
I don't think that it's outdated to have women cater to you, but I think that, like Beyonce said, I want to see you working hard. I see you working hard. I want to admire what you do. Men aren't doing that. So y'all want us to cater to y'all, and y'all not even doing nothing to get catered to. And then
Keith Sweat on tour right now. He doing a lot to get catered to. Keith Sweat on did nothing but sing songs, and he still ain't getting catered to. Keith Sweat, talk about Keith Sweat ain't did enough to get. He is a multi-platinum recording artist and still ain't getting catered to.
You don't know what he's doing.
I mean, especially women that
she was
got
saying
jobs.
like a career-oriented person.
I'm happy. I mean, like you talking about wash clothes, cook, iron. I'm cool on all of that. Like for me, if you cook or you care about me eating, that is like if you can't cook, just care about me eating. That's and whatever. Even if I gotta pay for it, like baby, I'm about to order this. I got it. I think a lot of that is kind of outdated in a way, like because women they working like we working. So if you I'm gonna take whatever you got going on. One of them, I don't really want you to iron my clothes. You might mess it up. My clothes expensive.
I'm not gonna iron.
She said she's not ironing at all.
I get it.
Now, why you not? Hold on.
I
now.
get it. I get it.
Why you not iron? See, this is the attitude we talking about.
I'll cook, I'll clean, I'll do other. But you want me to iron too and go to work?
No, cook and clean is solid.
What's wrong with
That's
ironing?
solid.
4 hours, maybe a part-time job. I'll iron.
Cooking and cleaning
See,
is a lot. That's gold.
This is what I'm. Okay, let's ask the other room. But this is what I be talking about. You literally said you'll cook, clean, and do all these other things. If I run in the shower and just say, "Can you iron this real quick?" That's where you draw the line. If it's gonna make me happy, I mean, is it worth it? If you're gonna do everything else, why is that the problem?
Solid.
The other things that make you happy. So you
Excuse
get
me?
it.
I didn't hear you.
You being greedy.
Greedy?
Like, else make you happy. You're not ironing it on the sink edge. Like, oh my God.
But yeah, I don't.
You're being greedy.
I don't think I'm.
You're asking for too much.
I honestly don't have these.
Let's hear from the other room.
All right, let's hear from our other room.
We didn't hear from you.
I mean, it depends on the man. It depends on the man. It depends on the man. It depends on, right?
Okay, what you mean by that?
What depends on the man?
It depends on the man. Like, I mean, like, y'all, I feel like the brokest ones be wanting us to go overboard. And that's just like majority of it. It's like, it just depends. I'm not gonna be doing all of this and you're not providing or doing. A man wants so much, but come with little package.
Ooh.
They don't even go.
She not lying.
I disagree. But to be honest, I really don't. Tone can tell you, I don't really have this problem that keeps what it's talking about. The women that I date cook, clean, iron. They do those things, and yes, they work in there just because they are feminine women, and that's the type of thing that that's the way that they were raised, and that's what they talk.
I don't understand it, ladies.
Like, that's just their natural thing to do. Just like if we naturally go out, I would never have you reach for your purse for anything just because that's just naturally what a man is going to do. Or every time we go somewhere together, I'm going to drive. It's just what men do. Every time I'm going to open the door, because that's just what men do. I'm going to do the masculine things. I don't care how much I worked that day. I don't care if I did a 30-hour shift. If we got to drive somewhere, I'm driving. I ain't gonna be like, oh, I done paid the bill and I got to drive. No, I'm just going to do it because that's what I do. And I don't know why we have to have this tit for tat situation. Excuse me.
A woman should do wifely duties without a ring. Is that what you telling me?
Oh, here we go.
Talk about it.
Oh, here we go.
Talk about it.
How do you become a wife? By acting like how do you become? That's when that comment bothers me.
Why?
That because what it is they're saying ideally you're not gonna put your best foot forward to become a wife. That'd be like me saying, hey, she want me to pay for this dinner? Like that's
and I ain't no husband.
That's what I do for my wife. I've said it plenty of times on this show. Some things I reserve for my wife. I'm not doing right.
And women saying the same thing.
That flying you out, like Pam be flying on vacations. My wife getting flew on vacation.
And me ironing your shirt, my husband getting his shirt ironed.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's right. What's the difference?
That's fair. But I mean, but at some point, we got to stop worrying about what I'm doing with this person. You got to just put your best foot forward and hope. We all of us are dealing with an X variable. We don't know what that other person is going to be to us, but you got to put your best foot forward. That's in my opinion.
And in my opinion, to that, I don't think there's a switch that comes on that makes you just more homely when you become a wife. Like all of these traits, you're just going to start doing more of.
No, there can be a switch.
I think you are who you are.
There can be a switch when men are not doing what we expect and what we need to feel safe enough to do that for you. So if you're not paying for things, if you're inconsistent, if you're lying, if you're weird, then I don't want to cook for you. I don't want to clean for you.
You probably shouldn't be in this relationship.
You probably shouldn't. But a lot of
what
people,
if I am doing those things?
But if you are, then I feel safe enough to do that. So when you say there's not a switch, there's absolutely a switch, because if you are inconsistent and you're not honest or the vibes are off, a woman will not want to give that to you. So make me want to give that to you.
That's fair. But
you show up. You put your best foot
Kiki,
forward, and I will put my best foot forward, and we can move forward that way.
But the thing that you're talking about, you shouldn't be in that relationship. If he's being weird and this and that, you shouldn't even be in that.
They going back and forth.
I didn't
they
hear
do
you.
this.
What you say?
Men always expect a high expectation from women.
No, I mean, women.
Girl, they do, but they gonna sit on this podcast and act like they don't.
No. Honestly, I think everybody should have. Women more likely than not. Y'all all have this whole thing of, hey, I need my man to make six figures, to have all of you have these different. standards. You have standards. Most dudes, we don't even really come into it until we get older. We don't have expectations on a woman. We have physically like you, and then we start having these expectations. When men lead with expectations like, yo, I want my woman to have blah, 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 whatever that might be for yourself, that's when whenever a man says, hey, I want my woman to cook it clean, or I want my woman, now we demonize for saying what we want. Y'all can say that you want us to make 6 figures. Y'all can tell us, hey, we want you to take care of us. But if we say, hey, we want you to cook, we want you to clean, we want you to, or you have a job. As soon as a man says the expectation on a woman, all hell breaks loose. That's the only thing I don't understand.
Not true.
You feel like
yeah, we're having a debate over Keith Sweat saying what he wanted. And we're really having a debate over it.
He said he wants you to iron, cook. You sound like you want a maid. You sound like
See,
you want
no,
an
that's
employee.
what
You
you
want an elite employee, and you could go hire that.
I got that. So
You
what
should be
you gonna
talking about
do?
you want a woman
And
that's
I got me.
overhear you.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No.
No, go ahead.
It sounds like y'all want a daddy when y'all want us to pay for everything.
No,
and do
I
this
don't.
and open that and do
I
that.
don't want a daddy.
That's what
I don't want-
but that's what I'm just saying. That's
Yeah.
that's who buy your clothes. That's who that's who does these things for you. That's who call what they say. I want somebody to
A
call.
woman did not start this argument. A man got on stage and said he wanted a woman to iron, cook, and clean. He wanted
And
an
now
employee.
women have an issue with it.
I'm responding
Now
to
you want an employee. So if a man says, hey, you
Having
want
an
somebody to
expectation.
come pay for your hair, you want somebody to pay for this, pay for that. Now we'd be looked at weird if we say, oh, you want your daddy then. You just want me to be your daddy. You looking for somewhere to live for free. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's okay for women to have expectations.
It
for
is.
men.
It's
a
okay
man
to have them too,
one too.
Men can have them too.
They can have them too. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it's fair for men to have an expectation when women can have one. It's just fair.
men have expectations than women.
Huh?
Men have more expectations than women. More.
They do?
Yes.
Well,
financially?
Not
Which one do you think is harder? Which one do you think is harder to make money to sustain a household or cleaning up something?
We're making money.
Which one do you think is harder? To make 6 figures or clean up something? Because guess what? If I make 6 figures, my house is on autopilot for what I make. I don't need nothing. My house is on complete autopilot.
Again, he wants an employee.
No, I don't. I want somebody to
do.
come in and be a partner. I don't need an employee. I got an assistant. I got a person washing my clothes right now.
Okay, then.
And
So what's the issue then?
So my thing is, if I say my thing is, only thing I want is a person to care about me eating,
right?
And that's really cool and give me peace and hang out with. I don't need all that other stuff. But for a man to say, hey, I'm going to trade this, I'm going to take care of you, and all I want is you to be able to cook and clean and iron. Now we got beef. Which one is harder? Somebody taking care of you?
That wasn't the question, though. The question was working women catering to men. Is it outdated? So you talking about you taking care of me? I work.
I said that, though. I did say that.
You said what?
I said it's outdated. I did say you can't ask a woman to do all of those things.
Okay, right. So that's the question. It's not you talking about a broke woman who's bringing absolutely nothing to the table, but it got a bunch of expectations. No, we're talking about women that work just as hard as you do.
Okay.
They got assistants and jobs and cleaners just like you do.
All right.
Right. So when you come into a relationship and we both bring in the same thing to the relationship, let's say what we want from each other. But I should have to iron your clothes if I'm bringing just as much money to the conversation as you are.
Why can't we fall into the roles?
Hold on. Stacey said, Tone and Zach, when do you expect a cooked meal in the dating process? Okay. I do. I do. These are, but guess what? I'm happy when here's what I'll stand on. And Kiki, you're absolutely right.
I know I'm right.
But I can have expectations of the woman, and guess what? She don't have to do it.
Exactly.
Just like young lady here, she don't want to iron, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
She can decide that she don't want to iron,
right?
And then she'll find somebody who don't mind her not ironing. But when I'm gonna answer her question, she said, "When do you expect to cook me on the dating phase?"
Mm-hmm.
I think we should go out a few times. I think I should handle the meals, the first 3, 4, 5 meals, but then it should be a time where I'm like, "Hey, I want this," and I think you should. I think the first one should be offered. I don't even think I should be asking for the first cooked meal. I think you should be like, "Hey, I'm making this. Here's this," and then you know what I'm saying, you cook. and then I see if you cook. I think the first one should be offered.
Yeah, I'm so messy.
And if you're not that type of girl, then you might not be that type of woman for me. And that may work for somebody else. One size doesn't fit all.
Right. But I do think a majority of women would love to cater to a man. It's just be worthy for the catering. That's it. That's all we ask.
The women have to be worthy to get taken care of.
Please be worthy.
No, the women have to be worthy to get taken care of.
Please be worthy.
So
but a lot of women aren't asking. But
what would make a woman worthy to a man?
You continuously jump to taking care of somebody. We talking about working women that's bringing just as much to the table as you are. So everybody's not looking to be taken care of, but we're looking to cater to a man worthy to be catered to. That's it.
What makes you worthy?
It depends on the partner you with.
So, like, and I'm saying, so if you're a man, if a man has an expectation,
is to take care of. Most women today don't need you to take care of them.
Exactly.
That's old. That's out the door. We working just as much as y'all work.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair. So if a man says, "Hey, if we both bringing the same thing to the table,"
can you bring anything else to the table other than taking care of me?
Okay. What about emotion? Emotions.
That's what I'm talking about.
What about emotions?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's emotions. It's all of these different things that
bring me loyalty. Bring me.
That's
bring
what you
me.
want. Yes. That's what you want. I want. Everybody has expectations. That's what I'm saying. If we both bringing the same thing, now we got to figure out what role we gonna play in each other's life.
Exactly.
That's all I'm saying.
And the question is it fair if we're both bringing things to the table financially, the same thing? Is it fair for you to expect me to be your employee as well?
Why do you keep calling it an employee?
Because when you're telling somebody you want them to clean and cook and this and that, and all I want you to do is love me, be loyal, and give me some good sex.
But Kiki, you said you would. You literally said you said if a man, you said if he's handling his business, you'll continue to work and still do those things.
I would
for the right man. You
for
said
the man I want to do it
for the man you want to do it for. So then there must not be a problem with doing it. Why are we acting like it's a problem? It's not a problem. So why are we acting like it's an issue? It's if you like the man and y'all are on the same page, you will do it. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This isn't even the women I date do it.
Right.
They do it.
Mm-hmm.
You said you will do it.
Yes,
She said she would do it except for the ironing. So why do we start using words like maid and different things like that?
Because that's how y'all frame it. If you come in, every argument starts with, if I'm taking care of you, then this, that, and the third. You ain't taking care of me. So let's get outside of taking care of each other and let's figure out what should we expect from each other in a relationship. If you have a working woman who's bringing just as much to the table, is it outdated to cater to a man? I don't think it's outdated.
It's not outdated to cater to a man, or
but you gotta be
man to cater to a
too.
woman. It's not
be
outdated.
Worthy. That's it.
Chivalry ain't dead. You niggas just scared.
Oh, you ate with that. Come on. That was right. And would y'all cook and clean in y'all relationships? That was a good question from one of the roomies. If you're both working, do you think you should cook and clean as well?
Are we both working?
We both working.
Absolutely.
So you gonna cook and clean? You gonna iron sometimes? You gonna?
Yes, I've done that before.
Okay,
I've done the where I've worked and paid all the bills,
right,
and still cleaned up.
That's a good man, Savannah.
So it's not. I don't know why we acting like this.
I just think
I have? I was a damn fool for doing it.
You ironing clothes and cooking and cleaning. If you work and she works,
yeah, and if my girl can't dress, I'm gonna help her dress. I'm gonna help her pick out some clothes. Like I don't have a problem. It's a partnership. Mm-hmm. I just said my thing is that I feel that whenever dudes say something, it gets framed as this weird thing like employee.
Yes, that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
That's not it. That's not it. Because I'm not going to say you got daddy issues if you asking me to take you out. That's just what men
I shouldn't have to ask you to take me out.
Exactly. Because you want to know why.
I shouldn't have to ask you to wash my drawers.
That's what dudes do. That's what dudes do. That's what dudes do. Like, I'm never gonna be like,
women are not walking around saying he better iron and cook and clean.
No, they say he better pay. No, he say he better pay for this. He better do this.
All we say is he better work. He better have a job and love us and be loyal. We not walking around talking about wash my car he better wash my car. We ain't doing that. If a man
asks you on a date, and he says, "Hey, let's go out. Y'all go have a wonderful dinner." That bill comes across. And he throws his credit card in and waits for you to put yours in. Mm-hmm. That's not manly. And you're going to call him weird. I'm
not going to call him anything. I'm not going to call him again.
So now I'm done. Exactly. I prove my point.
That's the point.
I'm going to call him.
You gonna call it weird?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you. And stop being greedy, Zach. All right,
I don't know.
Have we argued enough
We
on
have
this one?
argued
I'm not
enough.
greedy.
Thank you, roomies, for joining us.
All the women I date.
Stay
cook,
safe
clean,
out
yeah.
there, ladies. Don't end up being nobody employee. Next thing you know, you're testifying on the stand,
Okay.
child. Your name Jane Doe.
Let me tell you,
Don't be nobody employee, girls.
You'll be
All
70
right.
and alone. So I should have just watched the draw.
I sure will be 70 alone. I won't be at nobody freak off. All right, let's move on. Well, fellas. I'm just saying.
Kiki gonna take it to the
I
extreme.
am.
To the extreme.
The extreme.
I am. Yes. All right, fellas. Now, Tyler Perry. Okay, his new movie Straw is starring Taraji P. Henson, the beautiful, and Sherry Shepherd, the beautiful, Tiana Taylor, the beautiful. It's #1 on Netflix, but the reviews are mixed about how Black women are being portrayed. Tyler recently shared why he portrays Black women in his films the way that he does. So let's take a look at what Mr. Perry had to say.
I say nothing to those people who think that my films focus on the struggle of Black women, because they're right. It does. I'm in doing this. Let me tell you something. If I get an opportunity to put a Black woman on screen for people to see them in love, in happy, in joy, in pain, in struggle, what I'm doing is a service to all people, so that people will know that Black women are not just strong and one thing. They are all things, and they go through all of these different things. So to have an opportunity to be able to paint all of these pictures and all sides of it is something that I'm paying homage to my mother, to my aunt, to my sisters and friends and cousins, and the things that they all went through. So that's what I would say to that.
And so, fellas, I want to ask you, do movies that focus on Black women's struggle pay homage, or do they play into negative stereotypes? Now, as a Black woman, I feel like, because some of us carry our strength so nicely, people forget some of the things that we go through. So I think it's important for Tyler Perry to retell those stories to remind people what we have, where we have been, and what we have overcome. That's my take. What about you guys?
I think. Well, do we got a roomie to bring in?
Oh,
Yeah, let's bring in a
Bring
roomie. Because hey, roomie.
Hi, Roomie.
Hey,
What's
how
your
you
name?
doing? My name's Maddie.
Thanks for joining us. What do you think about what Tyler Perry had to say?
Honestly speaking, I think it's been overplayed. For how long is Tyler Perry going to be making these type of movies depicting Black women's struggle? Whether he's doing it in the form of a comedy, or he's doing it in a thriller, or he's doing it in a drama. I want to see celebrated Black women. I'm tired of the struggles. Not all Black women are struggling.
But you don't think in his movies he's given a variety of characters who have a different walk of life. We've seen him depict women in his movies as Black CEOs, as Black women who have big families, as Black women who have overcome things. You don't think he does a good job at showing that?
Okay, I mean, he does that, but let's be honest, like if he's depicting Black CEO, a Black woman with power and authority, it's always she's made to look like the villain, like she's a bitch. It's never, depicting her being positive.
I can see that. Here's my thing. I guess my struggle with this is I'm not gonna beat up on Tyler Perry.
Right.
Because white folk, I'm say it, white folk make movies about slave movies 1,000 times. And we just don't know the name of the people who are green lighting these movies, and we let them and they get a pass. It's been years and years of Black image being negatively put out there in every form of media, from movies to TV shows and all of that. And we just can't put the name on the person and say, "Ooh, this is Tyler Perry." One thing that Tyler Perry has done is made a lot of Black women millionaires.
Exactly.
That old lady who played that one scene, she said Tyler Perry wrote the biggest check of her life in her career. So I just can't. I can't beat up on Tyler Perry if we're not going to talk about the totality of Black negative stereotypes being played in film, period. I'd rather have that conversation than have the Tyler Perry conversation.
Exactly.
Because Tyler is the Black filmmaker who is out here putting Black folks on, you know what I'm saying? Like changing people's lives, paying people what they fairly get to be paid, while these other studios pay them pennies. So I can't beat up on Tyler Perry.
I mean, I'm not going to knock him. He's providing opportunities for employment. He's keeping people busy, in their craft, in their artistry. But at the same time, I mean, that's where he's made his money. It's always with these Black struggle movies and Black women's struggles. For once, why doesn't he try to, depict Black women, being heroines, in a more happier light,
He just
something
did the movie
positive.
with the what's the movie that he just did with the woman in the Air Force? Do y'all remember that movie?
Yeah, I'm looking it up now, but I know
What was
exactly
the name
what
of
you're
it?
talking about.
That was a positive movie.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
that's the one with Kerry Washington. I
Yeah,
never
the one
watched it, but I know the one that you're talking about.
you got to check that one out. You know what I'm saying? That was one of being positive. I just can't beat up on Tyler Perry. I just can't. The man has done
too
much positive, and I think it's our people who like to nitpick when we know the color. It's kind of like with Black business. When we know the business Black, we can't wait to nitpick and be like, why the chair rocking? Why the spoon late? Why you doing this? It's so, if we can look at this two ways. We can look at it from a negative perspective, or we can look at it from what the good that it brings. You know what I'm saying?
I see it
and
from
I would
both
rather look at a positive perspective. Huh?
I see it from both perspectives. That's why I said I'm not taking away from the fact that.
So I want you to talk about the other houses, tell me about the other movie studios that are depicting Black people wrong. What's their name?
The other studios.
The other studios that are depicting Black people negatively, because it ain't just Tyler Perry. Who else?
No, I mean it's other Hollywood movies. If it's not, a Black woman being, a mammy,
exactly. But I'm saying,
or being a prostitute. I mean, it's all these Hollywood,
It's just Tyler Perry put his name on it. That's what I'm trying to get you to see. It's so much easier to pinpoint on something when you know the person and they look like you. Tyler Perry didn't start the issue or ain't gonna end it, but he's trying to be a positive light in that space.
And if we're not going to tell our stories, we're going to allow other people to tell our stories?
Because they've been getting it wrong.
But they've been telling those stories before Tyler Perry came into the picture. I mean, they've been telling those stories for years, way before Tyler Perry got into the picture. It's just that now Tyler Perry was given that opportunity. He was blessed with that opportunity to have his own studio. And, I mean, I commend him for that. He's now he has his own studio and he can make those movies. But, for once, can we also just see positive movies where the women are like heroines, have a Black superhero heroine, he can make those kind of movies,
He just did the series with, what's the series Mojo Brooks is in? The woman from they used to play on the Steve Harvey show, Levita.
Oh yeah, Terry J. Vaughn. I don't know.
Terry J. Vaughn is playing a congressman, a Black woman Congress lady. You know what I'm saying? In that movie, it's a lighthearted movie. It's not depicting us in a bad way at all.
To your point, the positive movies that he has made, you can't name. So it's like you clearly want to watch these stories be told because that's the ones we remember. So I understand what you're saying, Rumi. I appreciate you joining the show. But we're gonna let you go.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right, fellas.
All right, let's get into this, man. Another story from the BET Awards that spilled over into this week's headlines is Claressa Shields taking an issue with Angel Reese winning Sportswoman of the Year. Okay, she congratulated Reese, but also said, "Still don't know how I didn't win, but congrats to Angel Reese and all the other nominees. I just thought accolades matter." My question to you guys is, does Claressa have a point? Should the athlete award be based upon wins and accolades?
You're an athlete, Tone. What do you think?
No. I just think, she got a point.
You think she does have a point? Expound, brother.
I just think she got a point.
It should be upon accolades. Yeah.
I think that should be included, but I also think it can be based on other things like the eyes that you're bringing to the sport that you're in, the impact that you're putting on the culture, things of that nature. I just hate when people lose or don't win an award and they say this. I feel like it would have been much powerful if she just let the people say this. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to congratulate her, just congratulate her and then let your people speak for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for you to say it, it just gives a little salt, like you're salty. And we don't want you to be salty because you're a champ. You win every time you get in the ring. So, if you're not getting an accolade from somebody else, then congratulate the person and let the people speak for them. Speak for you.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. She shouldn't have said it out loud, but I get it. You're a winner, you're a champion, and Angel Reese is an amazing athlete. She's a champion in college, But I mean, as far as like her pro career, she's still working. She's good. She's still working at it. And Claressa's a professional pro. That's one
more. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I ain't mad at Claressa's opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not mad at it. But like you said, it does seem a little salty.
Yeah. We want to, what they say in sports, like sportsmanship.
A good competitor. But she's a competitor. She's competitive. She's a boxer. You know, she want to win.
Okay.
You know, so I get it. She's done a lot. So shout out to you, girl. Do your thing.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke.
I don't.
We interviewed her at the BET room, and
did.
She said she got a whole alter ego called Clarissa. Because she said Clarissa.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want no smoke with Clarissa. None at all.
We just gonna get y'all both a BET.
Okay.
All right. Congratulations to BET on a star-studded BET weekend in Los Angeles. Yes, we were all there. TSR Live was in the building. We had a good time, man. How was that experience for you, Kiki?
It was amazing. Okay, it was amazing. One of my favorite interviews, Sierra. We got a chance to catch up with her.
Yes.
All of the housewives and Quad from Married to Medicine. So many good conversations were had. So we had a time.
Yeah, we did, man. We had a good time. And we caught up with Jermaine Dupri, and he gave us his thoughts on Timbaland announcing he's working with an AI-based artist as part of a new venture. Check this out.
Now, the times that we go at, JD, a robot came and brought me some food last night. It was weird. So I got to get your thoughts on this because you always light years ahead. When you look at like what Timbaland is doing, signing a new artist that's AI.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't really have no thoughts on it. I don't know. Because I feel like, you know, it's like my first time being here in a long time, like coming through here doing these interviews and it's like, even this, like sometimes as an artist, like I stopped doing this for a minute, but when you got stuff to do and you want people to know about it, you got to touch the people and you got to get out here. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I don't really know how you do that with an AI artist. And it's like, you know, I think Timbaland is thinking forward. You know what I mean? Thinking ahead. Like I got in the Waymore the other day and rode around without the car with nobody.
You got in there?
Yeah.
Was you scared?
Nah, I wasn't scared. Let me say I wasn't scared. But it was definitely weird to be sitting in the car and the car actually drives by itself. Yeah. So I was the only person in there. I didn't ride with nobody. I rode by myself. And just to be sitting in the back and the car just take off and you just like actually really still be in the car like looking around trying to figure it out. But yeah, so I mean I think he's thinking far ahead and you know I saw somebody say if it's not him then what, you know, who else? Because somebody else gonna do it. So I guess somebody got to do it. But I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I can't say I understand it.
Jermaine Dupri make me look like a big man. Didn't I look big? And then
you know what, Zach? You did. Whatever you want me to tell you, you
Thank
did.
you. I wasn't even sitting on a pillow or nothing.
Oh God,
like I do for this show.
Anyway.
All right, now.
So the question is, would you support an AI generated music artist? Will AI generated artists hurt real artist growth? So I know for me in my house, I'm gonna say no. I don't want to listen to no AI. You know what I'm saying? I need my artists to be hurt a little bit. I need them to have been shot at or went through something, you know, struggled a little bit, heartbroken. I need that type of vibe. I don't want to talk to the robots, you know. And JD saying he rode around in the Waymo, like, you too important to be getting in a car with no driver. I'm scared of that, you know, like that's a lot of musical history in a self-driving car.
Yeah.
But either way, I don't think the AI thing is going for me.
I can't do it. I can't have Siri having a song. That's wild. If Siri be like, playing me.
Okay.
And then she
right.
just
Siri featuring Alexa.
Yeah,
like, what?
Like, why do y'all have a song? What are y'all talking about? I can't do it.
I don't like it. What do you think, Tom?
Nah, I just think it's crazy. I think the whole AI stuff is weird when it comes to real artistry. How do you get in there and really feel what that artist is going through, make a beat? Like to me, I've always said I got a chance to see some people make music and it's truly magical.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you start dumbing it down, that's why we got what we are right now as far as hip hop. Everybody trying to sound the same. Now you're going to have people that can just totally punch in what type of artist they want and what they want to sound. It's just, nah, man. How does an AI artist go on tour? How does an AI artist do meet and greets?
Mm-hmm.
How do you go talk and do the radio room? And like you said, like, go do these awards, and content matters, especially now. It's an interesting thing, man. The human touch is still the human touch.
And we putting ourselves out of work. at this point. You know what I'm saying? So I just really want to know, what are we all gonna do when they all take over? Like, what's the vibe? What we going to? We just gonna hang out in the beach? We all gonna be naked? What is the plan when we don't have a job? Because that's where it's headed. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all driving the cars, delivering the food, making the songs. Y'all gonna get some AI interviewers. It's gonna be what? So what are we supposed to do?
Crazy.
It's gonna be just Sims in real life.
Like what?
Crazy.
Or GTA, which is even scarier. Okay.
Facts.
But Jermaine also gave us the inside scoop on a Magic City project that he's working on. Take a look at this.
And right now, they say that you're working on the Magic City docuseries, man. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so the Magic City documentary, it's on Stars. It's coming out in August. I think it's 5 parts. And it started out just as a long doc, but then it turned into something that I think they felt like should be split up and people should, just absorb it a little bit more. So I'm happy about that. And then I'm also doing it's a Jermaine Dupri inspired by Magic City album, basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's me producing all the records, and I'm trying to keep it with all the artists from Atlanta, basically. Not my artists, but all the artists from Atlanta that I never worked with. I'm trying to do it. So I think next Friday is the first single with Dro, 2 Chainz, and T.I. and myself. It's called Turnaround. So Friday we drop it.
Now, JD, I've never been to Magic City, but I've heard about it my entire life.
Gotta get you there.
What's
You gotta get there.
What's your favorite song that you've made, like, leaving Magic City? Because I know people used to say that y'all would go there for inspiration.
Grills with Nelly. We made that song specific. That's probably the only one that I can remember that was actually the actual process was, let's go to the club, let's get a vibe, and let's go back to the studio. And that's the song we created from leaving Magic City.
Dang.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that was a good one.
Who said, didn't you?
Nelly.
Grills from Tone's Goat, Nelly.
Who he said.
He loves Nelly.
Shout out to JD, man. Magic City is one of those spots. Kiki, I don't know, she doesn't go to strip clubs, but it's not like a strip club. It's an experience.
Yeah, I can't go to strip clubs because I walk in there and want to save everybody. And they don't want to be saved. They on their job making money. And here I go talking about some, sis, do you know there's other options? And I shouldn't be doing that. So I don't know. But I would like to watch this documentary and kind of see what really has gone on in Magic City that has made it so legendary over the years.
It's really a restaurant, too.
That's what y'all claim.
That's
what y'all say.
You'll love the wings.
It's a lot of ass shaking in the restaurant.
It's a lot of ass shaking in Atlanta, period.
Yeah.
Like, that's real.
The food is good.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys. This week on the Shade Room's YouTube channel, Cory Booker steps into the Shade Room with Tim B. Take a look at this.
Who's someone famous you've dated or gone on a date with that we don't know about?
This is going to make some news, I guess, but years ago, I was set up on sort of a blind date with Mariah Carey.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Yeah. It was one of those times where you just know you're in the presence of somebody that has a grandeur about them. And I'm not talking about her talent, but she just has this light. And we laughed and had a good time. It was clearly not a love match, but
Why wasn't it a love match? Why didn't it work out? No second date? I have questions. Would she A, corroborate the story, or B, her infamous, I don't know him?
Now
when she hears this, which way is she going?
Now suddenly I feel some kind of way. But her brother or cousin was there too. There were witnesses. Don't deny me, Mariah. Don't deny me now.
A blind date? That is a crazy blind date.
That's a great blind date.
Imagine you just walk in, it's Mariah Carey. I had to go back to the bathroom when I walked in. Hey, hold on, I got to get myself together.
Shout out to Timby. I can't wait to watch that.
That is going to be really good. Shout out to him saying, hey, Cory Booker was like, there were witnesses.
Right.
Way to do it. Hey, man, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch Cory Booker as he steps into the Shade Room with Timby, featuring Senator Cory Booker. And this week, TSR Investigate. Shout out to the homie Justin Carter. Don't miss that at all.
All right, roomies. Now we'll be back next week, of course, with more Shade Room headlines, debates, and trending topics. I gotta go iron my man's shirt.
Yeah, thank you, God. Yes, and make sure you like and subscribe to the Shade Room's YouTube channel so you never miss exclusive Shade Room news and interviews.
Absolutely. Until next time, roomies. Remember, represent the culture with excellence. Woo woo.
It's been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my clock, they tugging it. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, it's been a long time coming. They ain't cuffing my clock, they tugging it. Putting up numbers, 99 problems, and I still kept it 100. Yeah, who don't play?